Hey 302, I'm Jackie Ferris. On this week's show, we do a behind-the-scenes chat with Wilmington's own cartoon Christmas trio. Lend us your ear. The 302 is about to take you down memory lane. Hey 302, it's Jackie Ferris, and it's almost Christmas time, and that means only one thing, a bunch of wonderful holiday music. I'm joined now by the cartoon Christmas trio. We've got Jeff, Jimmy, and Rob to tell us all about what they're doing this holiday season and all the wonderful music that we're going to be hearing about. So gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Now this group started back in 1995. Where did the idea come from?
So in 1995, we were playing at a restaurant in close to Newark called Bourbon Street Cafe, and I finished up doing a jazz set, and the owner and I were having a drink afterwards, and he was asking, hey, you're pretty young, why are you playing jazz? And I said, well, I got into it because my neighbor down the street had the soundtrack to Charlie Brown Christmas. Gave it to me. I put the platter on and listened to it. He was like, that's great music. You should do that here at this club this December. And that's how it started. I called Jeff. We had started with another drummer, Jackie Brown, who is no longer with us, and that's what we've been doing every Christmas season since 1995.
Now you guys pay very close attention to the way the music is written, and you use the same kind of styles. Is that right?
Sort of.
Yeah. Well, tell us about that.
That's Vince Guaraldi. The stuff he wrote out in California is West Coast, more laid back, like Bill Evans, that kind of music, that feel. East Coast, a lot more energy. Philly Cats, a lot more energy. So we put our East Coast vibe on the music, bring it up a little bit. Though we do play nice and mellow. Christmas time is here, some nice ballads that are mellow, but there's always a little more energy to the music.
So when you perform, does it bring back memories of childhood?
Absolutely. It brings back the Charlie Brown Christmas cartoons I used to watch growing up with my family. And I never thought that I would actually have an opportunity to play that music. But when these guys asked me to join in 2012, it was wonderful. Yeah, it's been a great ride so far.
So how do you guys mesh together? I know coming into something that's already established, you had to bring your own thing, and the group kind of morphs a little bit whenever you add a new ingredient. So talk to me about, the relationship in the music.
Well, that's part of the dynamic of this American classical music called jazz. I mean, it's all about learning the language and then being able to integrate that with quality players who use their ears and constantly interact with one another in a musical fashion. And this music is a great vehicle to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that we talked about the Charlie Brown Christmas, but there's other music that you guys play. Is there a favorite? Tell me a little bit about the repertoire here.
There's no favorite, but it's all cartoon related. So Rudolph, Santa, Frosty,
Christmas time
the
is
Grinch, Heat Miser is going to be added this year. We're looking forward to that, So it's all the favorite cartoons.
So is there one in particular I know that sticks out for you that has a special memory for you, for the group?
Well, we have Grant sing. What does Grant sing?
He sings the Grinch.
The Grinch.
When we get a chance to have Grant.
Right. That's a special guest that we bring, and if you've ever heard the lyrics of the Grinch, it's quite incredible when you have an opera singer sing it, and that's our friend Grant. So that's one of my favorites that we do when we perform that. And we have kids choirs that come from local schools that participate and sing the background vocals, and that's incredible. That takes you back to your childhood. When you hear that, sometimes it's hard to play. When those kids start singing, you're like, oh man, wow. I feel like you're 5 or 6 years old again, so that's nice.
Now you guys are a staple in Wilmington. Everybody says, you got to go, you got to see these guys. So, I mean, how does it make you feel? I mean, you guys locals, or are you from the area? Do you get the kind of cred in your own backyard, maybe?
I guess I'm the only one that was actually born here in Delaware, so I guess technically I'm a local, even though I live just over the PA line at this point. And, Jeff's from the East Coast as well. Jimmy's from down in Alabama originally, and Indiana.
Moved to Indiana,
So,
and then been here in Philly 20 years so far. So Philadelphia is my home, actually.
yeah.
So
we've-
Rob knows people we have to pay the rest of our friends.
This is true.
So when you guys aren't delighting people with Christmas classics, what do you do in your daily lives?
In our daily lives.
Daily
Well, we're all teachers.
We're all teachers and professional musicians.
Yeah.
That's what we all do for a living.
Now, do you teach music, or do you teach some other study?
We all teach music.
Teach music.
Yeah.
So music is just in your soul.
Correct.
Daily, weekly, soul.
Yes.
Yep.
So you're on the stage, typical concert. What is it like? What's the vibe between the three of you guys? Are you talking to each other, or just straight up music?
Through the music, yes.
Yes.
Not necessarily
Vocally.
literally verbally
Yeah.
talking with one another, but we're constantly interacting, and all three personalities mesh extremely well because we're all very positive people who love music, love teaching, love playing, and interacting in the moment. So we've never played the same show the exact same way in almost 25 years of playing together, and we never will. And that's part of the joy of coming out to see us year after year.
And I know there are people that I've spoken to that say they've seen you several times, and it is a different show. One person actually said it was like going to a Dylan show. It's never the same thing twice.
It's a beautiful thing.
Actually, that's my favorite part of being with these guys. Starting with your childhood, you know the music. Brings back a lot of memories. You start with the structure of it. So we know the tunes that we're going to play, the Grinch, so on and so forth. But actually the performance of it, he may play something. I riff back with him, have a conversation. He plays something, riff back, and that's what makes the music magical to me.
And we'll be right back. We're going to be talking more with Cartoon Christmas Trio.
Hey, I'm Jack Clendenny, and I love exercising with the 302.
Welcome back. We're with Cartoon Christmas Trio, and we're talking a little bit about the history first. But I wanted to ask you guys, do you ever feel like you might run out of material? Because they don't make Christmas cartoons as much anymore.
Well, I don't know if we're going to run out of material because obviously the base of our material is based around the Charlie Brown Christmas cartoon, which is pretty much a high watermark of that style. Plus, we're also playing it in a jazz style, so that music obviously ties well together. If there are new cartoons that come out that we feel that we can draw on and kind of Giraldi-ize, for this classic American piano jazz trio, we will certainly incorporate that into, and we're always looking for different songs that we can incorporate.
Because every show is different.
Every show is different.
So when people come to see you, what can they expect? I know it's obvious Cartoon Christmas Trio, but it's like, what is the experience like? Is it a transportation back to your childhood? Is it just pure Christmas spirit? What is it?
I think it takes, because we get, kids to seniors, that's the great draw of this music. It takes everybody back to their childhood. And it's past the 50 year, a couple years ago, was it the 50
Yeah, it was.
year anniversary?
Right. So it's nostalgia.
Yeah, definitely. It's been around a bit. Tells us our age, unfortunately, but
Well, it means that every Christmas you definitely have a gig.
Yeah, right, exactly. Christmas is not going anywhere.
You talk about the young kids and the senior citizens that show up. I mean, has there ever been a moment when you're just jamming and you look out in the audience and you really just kind of click, you really just engage with people and you see the light in their eyes and you know, man, this is it. I mean, have you had those moments?
Absolutely. For me, in the sense of when you're actually swinging and the band feels like they get in a pocket, to actually just look out into the audience and see people moving their legs or shaking their heads, and their eyes might be closed, You know, that's the connection to me that feels like, lets me know that what we are doing is actually transcending. So then what I see of them transcends back to me and helps me add more to what he's doing, and so on and so forth. I think that's, the energy becomes circular.
And on the Linus and Lucy tune, if you're not moving, you're basically not alive. You know, which people think is a Charlie Brown tune, but it's called Linus and Lucy.
Yeah.
So, you know, everybody's got their move.
We'll play it.
Yeah. So we're at First and Central Presbyterian, where you guys are going to have a gig later. Talk to us about that.
So we'll be making return here as part of the Market Street Music concert series at noontime here at First and Central Presbyterian. It is the longest series that we have been a part of. We started in '95, and I believe we played it in '95 or '96 and have not missed one yet. It's a beautiful venue. If you work in the city, to come out for a quick half-hour concert. We play 5 or 6 songs. We've got a beautiful concert Steinway up on stage that just sounds phenomenal, exactly how Vince Guaraldi would have liked it. If you can't make that one, we've got 2 shows at the Delaware Art Museum and 1 at Winter Museum. The 2 Delaware Art Museum shows will also have children's choirs with us and our special guest baritone, Mr. Grant Youngblood. So there'll be awesome concerts as well.
And if people want to keep track of you, you're on Facebook. Are you on Twitter?
We are.
Okay, and so you also have a website. So are there cartoon Christmas groupies?
There are definitely people that come out on a regular basis, yes. I don't know if I would call them groupies or not.
Right.
At least not to their face.
Yes, might be a little odd.
A couple of them have thrown scars up on the stage. So that's as good as close as it gets.
So you got a couple of gigs coming up later this year, and so folks can keep track of you on the web. What do you want people to know about the joy behind the trio here before we jump to our next segment and listen to some music? You guys seem like you're friends in addition to being,
Most definitely. I mean, you know, we obviously do this music really for a period of 5 or 6 weeks, depending on the calendar, but all of us play together
Throughout the year.
throughout the year in many different types of configurations. So yeah, we are friends. We are, you know, musical partners. You know, family partners as well. You know, all of our families get together and hang out too. So which is a beautiful thing. So positive energy and celebration of the spirit.
Excellent. We'll be right back to hear some of that music straight away.
Hi, my name is Dr. Vanessa Patel, and the 302 is good for your soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cartoon Christmas Trio. That'll do it for this week's show. For more information on where you can catch Cartoon Christmas Trio, visit cartoonchristmastrio.com. That'll do it for this week's show. We're going to leave you with a classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Until next time, we'll see you on the 302.